live in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Damu Kiwe Conversations. Salute, salute, salute. I see y'all already in the chat. Y'all active. And we finna get it cracking. We got the content. Nah, we ain't flaming nobody up today. In fact, we building it up. Hey, G-Max said, we don't make enemies, we make money. So that's what we gonna do, man. We gonna talk about making money. Specifically, one of my partners, man, Louis Ziskin, the man who introduced the United States to X, the X Kings. When you come in on YouTube, hit that like button, share, tell a friend. Y'all in here with Deuce Sims, Don, and my main man, Yael, will be on his way. Salute to everybody on Clubhouse supporting. I'm going to call y'all back. Hello, Queen. Hello, G-Mac. Pacoima's in the building. Selena, the whole Henny gang, Henny Glasses and Active Chucks in the chat. Brother Talmid, Smoked Out TV is in the building. Smoked Out TV. Stand On It Media. Salute to Stand On It Media, man. And then we got my boy, Baby Dig, Makita, Richie Rich, and the fuck boy just came in. What's up, fuck boy? Yael, the Kiwe pop star. What up, y'all? What up? Gaga Nina, what up? They coming in. We on YouTube already, y'all. Hit that link on your phone, brother. Let's go. All right, in the chat, we got Money Grip, Salute the Active Chucks, and Damu Kiwe Conversations. Real ones with real content. The revolution will be televised. We are the revolution. Salute to the chat room. You already know what it is, Money Grip. And then he said, let's talk about X pills. I see you're an advocate. You know what I'm saying? Salute to you. And whatever preferences you got that make your life that much better. Scandalous Los Angeles TV. I feel honored. My nigga is in here and not in the titty bar. Hey, wait till Yael come in. We gonna make sure we cover that. You know what I'm saying? I told him that the rats gonna try to put him in jail. You know what I'm saying? He can't keep frequenting the same spot.
Conversations.
Hey man, I told him he can't keep frequenting them titty bars in the morning and shit. They gonna end up getting this whole little program and figuring out who Scandalous Los Angeles is, Yael. You know what I'm saying? Salute to my bro, Scandalous though. You know what it is.
My brother.
Selena, hola. Hit that like button. Come in when y'all come in. Scandalous, what up? Senior General Trav, salute. Put that rubber to the road. ETE, for sure. Grip, what it do, cuz? They tripping. Gang banging. Welcome to Damu Kiwe Conversations. Hit that like and share. We got the content. Who else we got up in here before we get to this content? Smoked Out TV. Check it out, TV. Salute, tapping in, bro. Appreciate that. Go ahead and stream this and stay. You can stream this and make sure you share that to your audience. Check it out, TV. Thank you for coming to support Slimeball TV. Salute. Damn, they going crazy in the chat. Salute, Money Grip. Megan Davis. Salute. How you doing, Queen? Lakeisha Green. Hey. All right, so we gonna get right into this so we can get it over. I ain't ate. I ain't smoked my weed. I gotta roll me a blunt and eat some. So we gonna get into this a little bit, man. So y'all introduce y'all to one of my player partners, man, a real player up out of Los Angeles. He's a Jew, Jewish. Let me fix that and make sure I say the proper term. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what we gonna get into first. Let's go with this one. All right? So, all right. So if y'all can you see that?
Most definitely I can, brother.
All right. Well, we're going to start by saying this, right? Just so if y'all wasn't familiar, y'all could get familiar. So this is his case. You know, we got the word, right? And hey, pull up Ike on Clubhouse for me, please, and beam him up. My bad. This involves the largest ever United States government seizure of the drug 3,4-methylene methamphetamine, more commonly known as ecstasy. The ex-king. So when we get to talking about drug trafficking, most drug traffickers are national when coming from the urban communities in the United States. Freeway Rick, Waterhead Bo, Ray Browning. Hey, free Ray Browning while we at it. But the largest ecstasy case in the United States, and this is Louis Ziskin, right? And we gonna tell it because it's definitely a story of triumph, and everybody in America loves the rags to riches story, and he definitely overcame. So let's go. This is an interlocutory appeal this is his appeal from an order of the United States District Court for the Central District of California, denying appellant Louis Ziskin's motion to dismiss on double jeopardy grounds 3 counts of an indictment for conspiring to import, possess, and distribute ecstasy in violation of 21 U.S.C. subsection 963 and 846, and engaging in a continuing criminal enterprise, CCE, in violation of 21 U.S.C. subsection 841. Ziskin contends that the district court erred in denying his motion to dismiss the conspiracy counts 1 and 8 respectfully, because he had already been convicted under an earlier indictment for the conspiracy charge in his second indictment. So he has multiple indictments for ecstasy and distribution. He also argues that the district court improperly failed to dismiss the CCE count 13 because the conspiracy for which he was convicted in the prior indictment is a lesser included offense of the CCE charge in this indictment. CCE is talking 30 years, and that's what he ended up getting. So how the hell he get out? We got to work. As a threshold matter, we must determine the appropriate standard of review. We conclude that the district court, so now in the courts, they have to go by the law of how the standard of review for it. They arguing de novo. They also have some case law that's arguing a clear error, and that standard really determines sometimes whether you get back out or they dismiss your stuff. So in late 1998, Louis Ziskin established himself as a major ecstasy importer in the Los Angeles area. LA, stand up! I thought we was just dirty niggas in khakis and shit, nigga. We get to the B's ad. Participating in and leading a large and sophisticated operation that imported the drug from sources in the Netherlands by way of other countries in Europe. And initially, Ziskin flew to Europe carrying large amounts of cash, purchased ecstasy, and then flew back to the United States with the drugs. By early 1999, Ziskin had enlisted Tamer Ibrahim and Alexander Maiman to travel with him to Europe to purchase ecstasy for cash. At first, they paid for the drugs by pooling their money and carrying the cash with them to Europe, a simple magnification of the method already used by Ziskin. But with Ibrahim and Maiman on board, Ziskin's operation grew progressively more complex. As investors in the scheme, Ibrahim, let me stop right there, right? Because Ibrahim, Tamer, right? And Alexander Maiman, they started off working for Lou, right? So Tamer told me this story. Shout out to T, right? T Monk say, Lou tell him, hey, look, you want to make $1 million? He like, damn, who I gotta kill? Hell yeah, right? At that time, I think he was doing like other niggas, you know what I'm saying, scamming with the plastic, you know what I'm saying, running credit cards or whatever he was doing, you know what I'm saying, to keep up with living in the valley in Los Angeles, high-ass bills, high-ass everything, right? And he like, nah, bro, I just need you to drive this car. So you got to drive this car from Amsterdam to, I think it was Germany. You go through Hungary, all the way to Germany to a factory where they unload the car and they was going to ship the ecstasy somewhere else. So he did it. Nigga said he pulled his hat to the back and he did what he did, took the chance, he made it, and he got the $1 million cash. But when Lou giving him the $1 million, he said, look, you can take the $1 million you already earned right now, or I could give you an opportunity to invest that in product and really put you on for the next move. So he like, fuck that, nigga, go ahead and put the $1 million in there. Took a chance. Heart of a gunslinger. And they passed. And that's how he became a partner with Louis Ziskin. So, but with Ibrahim and Maimon on board, Ziskin operations grew progressively more complex. So it was already complex. International export of ecstasy into the United States. As investors in the scheme, Ibrahim and Maimon began to accompany Ziskin to Europe to purchase large amounts of ecstasy and arrange to have it shipped back to the United States via Federal Express or another courier service. Each Federal Express box could contain up to 50,000 tablets of ecstasy. Later, the trio shipped cocaine to Europe in exchange for shipments of ecstasy. So even with prices being as high as they is in LA now, 17,000 to 22, 24,000, depending on what kind of connect you got, if you still living that life, right? You know what I'm saying? Back then, you got to think the powder was a lot lower, bro, 13.5. And this is only if you get 1 or 2 or something, 14, 15, you know what I'm saying? But in Europe, the price of cocaine is so much more, right? I'm talking about 3 times as much wholesale. So he started shipping this to get more ecstasy product pills that would be shipped here to the United States. During the course of this operation, Ibrahim introduced Ziskin to Manur Deary, who located mailing addresses in the Los Angeles area to which the ecstasy packages could be sent. So, hey, look, my nigga, hey, you go to the local smoker or whoever, right? Hey, man, you trying to make some money? Yeah, man. Let me use your address and get this sent there. You know what I'm saying? So Deary received the pills, stored and divided up the ecstasy. Deary sometimes distributed it for Ziskin, so he working for Lou and Ibrahim, which is Tamer, and collected proceeds for the sales. So he's moving everything. He's collecting it and moving it in LA, and they not even have to get their hands dirty. Deary also handled the shipment of cocaine from the American end of the business. Tamer Ibrahim's cousin, John Ibrahim, assisted Deary with many of these duties, even lining up 2 storage units, one for Ziskin's share of the drugs and one for Tamer Ibrahim's share. Deary and John Ibrahim supervised various couriers, including Dwayne Sanker, Lance White, Lori Lynn Johnson, Sonia McDaniel, and Amina Jackson, who used their own addresses to receive the ecstasy before turning it over to Deary and John Ibrahim. Ziskin compensated Deary with ecstasy and a $60,000 Cartier watch. So Luke, hey, look, here goes some work. Here goes some extra work, nigga. And here goes $60,000 Cartier. You know what I'm saying? Watch. They need to know you shining, getting money with me. Throughout 1999, the United States Customs Service intercepted numerous Federal Express and DHL packages containing multi-kilogram amounts of ecstasy sent from European countries to various commercial mailbox centers in the Los Angeles area. In mid-July 1999, the USCS made a controlled delivery of one of the packages to one such commercial mailbox center. So a controlled delivery is essentially they already done got the heads up about the package coming, and they make sure they watch where the package go, who pick it up, all of this stuff. After Deary picked up the package of ecstasy and attempted to deliver some of the shipment to one of Ziskin's customers, the USCS arrested Deary. So now he done got caught up with the X, right? They done watched it come in. They watched him pick it up and then watched him go serve some of Lou's clients with the work. At the time of Deary's, hold on. Tamer Ibrahim hired a lawyer to defend Deary against federal charges in the United States District Court for the Central District of California and shared the cost with Ziskin and Deary. At the time of Deary's arrest, Tamer Ibrahim and Ziskin also began to have problems with one another. So now Deary then got arrested. Niggas kept it gangster with him and took care of him. Hey, look, we got to make sure this nigga got a lawyer, and it needs to be our lawyer so we can make sure he don't go left. Little did they know, he already had went left, right? Mike Deary ended up turning state evidence. You finna read about it. Federal evidence. All right, so now Lou and Ziskin having disputes. So Mike Deary stayed in jail for about a month, during which the pace of ecstasy transactions slowed substantially. He was released from jail on bond in late August 1999. The same time, Ziskin returned from a trip to Europe. Ziskin offered Deary $250,000 to leave the United States to work with Ziskin's drug contacts in Europe. But Deary rejected the offer. Hey, look, my nigga, you out on bail. Go ahead. I'm going to give you $250,000. Go ahead and go to Europe. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to plug you with my drug contacts out there. You know what I'm saying? Ziskin gave Deary and Tamer Ibrahim large quantities of ecstasy to jumpstart transactions. So now Lou like, shit slowing down. Look, we finna drop the price. We finna flood the market. We got to get this money, right? By October 1999, the conspiracy's trafficking had picked up again, and Ziskin and Tamer Ibrahim had set up their own crews in Amsterdam. In late December 1999, the USCS intercepted 3 ecstasy-filled packages from France, all bound for Los Angeles. Couriers Johnson, McDaniel, and Jackson picked up the packages, right? McDaniel and Jackson were arrested on December 21st, 1999, but they agreed to cooperate with the USCS to deliver the packages to Deary as planned. So they get cracked, and now they like, look, we'll work with y'all. We gonna deliver them as planned, so they can like lock up Deary. Deary instructed the couriers to deliver the packages to John Ibrahim, Tamer's cousin. After that delivery, the USCS seized the packages, searched the apartments of Deary, John Ibrahim, and Maimon, and arrested John Ibrahim. Including what it found at the storage units, the USCS seized more than 700 pounds of ecstasy and more than $1 million cash on December 22nd, 1999. The government produced evidence that these seizures drove Ziskin and Tamer Ibrahim apart. Deary told government investigators, so now they done got him caught up again. He done told them that Maimon and Deary became disenchanted with Lou, with Ziskin. Deary believes Ziskin owed him $1.2 million to compensate for the losses Deary sustained in the December 1999 seizures. Deary said that he and Tamer Ibrahim broke away from Ziskin at that point to establish their own separate drug trafficking operations. Let me break that down a little bit. So once the people start losing money, things being seized, shipments being seized, you know, motherfuckers start feeling like, damn, it's your fault, or damn, I took a loss. So they kind of started having a little wedge in between their partnership. And so Deary and Tamer broke away from Lou and established their own separate drug trafficking operation. At first, Deary and Tamer Ibrahim tried the same methods they had used while working with Ziskin, but with different people. Deary and Tamer Ibrahim enlisted a new cocaine supplier in the person of Jose Antonio Cortez. While lying to Ziskin to cover up his new drug trafficking operation, Tamer Ibrahim sent Joseph Yavetz and Michael Hilo to the Netherlands to export ecstasy via Federal Express. When Yavetz and Hilo were arrested in Germany in February 2000, Ziskin became angry because he realized that Tamer Ibrahim has started a new enterprise without him. So I bring you in, put you in in the game. Things start going wrong. Soon as things start going wrong, you side cut me. I done plugged you with all of the people, taught you the game. You cut me out the mix and start your whole little enterprise without me. The arrest of Yavetz and Hilo prompted Deary and Tamer Ibrahim to look for a different means of importing ecstasy, one that would also provide for larger shipments than the air carrier method. David Resiniano told Deary and Tamer Ibrahim about a plan that would allow millions of ecstasy tablets to be shipped at once rather than just the 50,000 tablets that could be sent in each Federal Express package. The new idea, one, to ship large quantities of ecstasy from Europe to the United States through South Korea. Two, to conceal the drugs in clothing and other legitimate merchandise. And three, to bribe international custom officials to allow passage. This scheme concealed the fact that the shipments originated in the Netherlands, the leading source country for ecstasy. Ziskin was told about this plan before the December 1999 seizures, but he declined to adopt it. Deary and Tamer Ibrahim, however, agreed to try it with Jia Ryu and Min Sung Jin. Ryu was a Waching. I met Ryu also. Two Korean importers who had relationships with shipping companies in France and elsewhere. Joseph Gilboa delivered boxes of ecstasy to the particular shipping company designated by Jin, and the company sent the bulk shipments as air freight from Europe to South Korea. In South Korea, the ecstasy was packaged among clothing and other legitimate merchandise, and invoice documents were altered. Ryu and Jin bribed Korean custom officials. Eventually, the shipments arrived at a bonded warehouse in Los Angeles where a United States custom agent had been bribed to ensure safe passage of the packages. So they got the U.S. custom agent taking bribes to make sure that the package land, right? In February 2000, Tamer Ibrahim and Deary tested the new method with a small shipment hidden in socks inside a Federal Express box. The box was repackaged in South Korea and then sent to Los Angeles without detection. In early March 2000, Ibrahim and Deary successfully shipped a larger amount of ecstasy from France to South Korea to Los Angeles. From then on, Tamer Ibrahim and Deary increased the size of the shipments and ceased using Federal Express boxes. Over the next several months, 4 shipments originated in Europe arrived in Los Angeles via this method. So now, Tamer and them are doing millions per shipment, right? Millions of ecstasy, and they're doing multiple shipments through the week. The feds know about a couple of the shipments. They don't know about all of them. So during that time, Ziskin continued to conduct his own trafficking operation using Federal Express shipments. So remember, they done been separated. He got his own enterprise, and they're shipping it through South Korea and all of that type of stuff, millions of pills. Ziskin's still doing what he doing. Ziskin sent cocaine to England and then withdrew the proceeds from an English bank to purchase ecstasy. Although Tamer Ibrahim and Deary were no longer involved with Ziskin's operations, Deary was told that a March 2000 shipment seized in Boston and an April 2000 shipment seized in Italy belonged to Ziskin's organization. So now Mike Deary is ratting on Lou, right? Still under pressure from Tamer Ibrahim and Deary to repay Deary for the December 99 ecstasy seizures by the U.S. Customs Service, Ziskin participated in 3 drug transactions with Tamer Ibrahim and Deary in 2000. Ziskin joined Tamer Ibrahim and Deary in sending 1 or 2 cocaine shipments to Europe in early 2000. In June 2000, Ziskin agreed to allow Tamer Ibrahim and Deary to ship some of Ziskin's ecstasy through Korea so Ziskin could get money to repay Deary. The final shipment of Tamer Ibrahim's enterprise, comprised of 2.1 million tablets of ecstasy, was seized at Los Angeles International Airport on July 22, 2000. Law enforcement officers monitored preparations for this large shipment by wiretapping Tamer Ibrahim's phone. The intercepted calls not only revealed Tamer Ibrahim making arrangement with Raul, Resniano, Gilboa, and Cortez, but also showed Tamer Ibrahim instructing Ziskin how to prepare ecstasy for inclusion in the shipment, right? In a separate call, Ziskin discussed with Tamer Ibrahim the anticipated meeting between the Ziskin underling and Tamer Ibrahim's boy, presumably Gilboa, who would make the exchange. So now they're caught on wiretap. 2, federal authorities took Ziskin into custody in December 2000 based on information from Deary and John Ibrahim. So Deary and John Ibrahim is giving up Lou, but they're not giving up Tamer, because remember, they were part of Tamer's regime. Lou just put Tamer on in the game and they separated. So now they done got gaffled up, and instead of snitching on their boss Tamer, they start giving information about Lou. Ziskin was charged in CR 0024 RSWL for transactions beginning in November 99 and continuing up until the seizures of December 22nd, 1999. Specifically, Ziskin was indicted on December 7, 2000 on 2 counts of importation of ecstasy in violation of 21 U.S.C. subsection 952, 1 count of conspiracy to import ecstasy in violation of 21 U.S.C. 963, and 1 count of conspiracy to possess with intent to distribute ecstasy in violation of 21 U.S.C. subsection 846. Ziskin was convicted after a trial that began in early March 2001 and sentenced to a 30-year term of imprisonment. On December 14, 2000, Ziskin was charged in an indictment in the instant case. See how the court reporter case is different. That was CR 0024D. This one is CR 00852D. CAS, stemming from drug trafficking actions that took place between January 2000 and September 2000. On October 31st, 2001, a federal grand jury returned a 6 superseding indictment, charging Ziskin alongside 9 co-defendants. In this indictment, Ziskin was charged in count 1 with conspiracy to import ecstasy, count 2 with importation of ecstasy, count 3 with distribution of ecstasy with intent to import ecstasy into the United States, count 8 with conspiracy to possess with intent to distribute ecstasy and conspiracy to distribute cocaine and ecstasy in violation 21 USC, and count 13 with engaging in a continual criminal enterprise. So he got the CCE under the new indictment, which they said was the 6th superseding indictment. So when one indictment, like say how Lil Durk just got indicted, right? That's the first indictment. Then you have when they gathering intel, they flipping people, gathering information about how the business was done. Then they start webbing and nabbing other people who will be in a second superseding indictment. So, in other words, that's what the case was about, the statement of facts. And then it goes in the legal facts and the basis of the whole argument on appeal. And this is how he ended up getting 188 months, which we do got the paperwork. But I'm not finna bore y'all with just the legal arguments. But it was crazy because the shipments that got caught from Tamer Ibrahim crew, he got convicted and got 30 years for drugs that he had nothing to do with, right? Remember, the snitch is telling them that Ziskin and this and this and that, but he done already told them that there was a wedge. It's on wiretap that they had separated and Tamer and his crew were doing this through Korea, right? So when those shipments that under Tamer crew got caught up, they're putting it on Lou, right? Not Tamer, but Tamer's crew. They're getting cracked. Every time they get cracked, they're pointing out Lou. So let me go ahead and go to some of this other video. Let me see what y'all talking about before we get into that. I know that was a lot of reading. Hit that like button on your way in. Rubber on the road. Damn, we lost Yael. He'll be back. I can multitask. Damn, we way up there. Let me go all the way to the bottom, man. We not bored dudes. We looking for them. Hey, for sure. Monique, what up, sis? They all want to peel. Everybody want to peel. Listen, my brother Louis Ziskin does no longer partake in them activities. In fact, let's get to this real quick, right? So he fights his case. He goes through the federal system, like almost all other criminals had to do once they were convicted. And then after he gets off the 30 years, it was multiple appeals. They go through a whole ordeal, and I'll let him tell y'all about that. I don't want to give y'all too much, but essentially, they had to hire detectives who went to Mexico to get the blueprint about the T2S2 wiretap machines that the feds use. The feds were narrating cases, so in the wiretaps, where they're admitting that it's two different crews and that he's not responsible, or even they're not even dealing with him no more on these drugs that were seized, the feds will mark those calls as non-pertinent, right? So you can have one agency, say the FBI, doing wiretaps, and they might mark something non-pertinent. You could be talking about having sex with your wife to your best friend and how it's not good. Like, man, what can I do? I mean, she's not doing what she's supposed to be doing, and they could mark non-pertinent, right? But because the ATF or the DEA, that's the FBI investigation, DEA got wiretaps going on, they might find that information pertinent to prove that you was had this kind of relationship with your best friend or whatever. So in some, they're narrating like a movie. What evidence will be introduced to the trials before it ever begins? You got to think this is years of wiretaps. The paperwork, once it get printed out, the transcripts is in the thousands, right? Who's going to go through every one of these pages and every one of these calls to do it? Well, this determined Jew boy with 30 years on his back and a whole lot of promise in the future found enough reason, and the balls to take on the federal government, and he did it. He eventually gets resentenced to 188 months, which is about, 60, 120, 180. You're talking about 15, 16 years, right? 15 years and some change. You know what I'm saying? And he walked down about 12, 13. I was in there with him, MDCLA. We're going to be telling y'all how we was doing it up in there. You know what I'm saying? Fuck the gangster shit. We was still living like players in a messed up situation, right? But let me show y'all this real quick while y'all want some pills. He ain't in that business no more. So he gets out the feds after fighting against the federal government, and he makes the Forbes magazine. This right here is my boy Louis Ziskin, right? Article. How drop-in CEO got to work with Lyft, Hiscox, and Beasley. So here you got Louis Ziskin, CEO and founder of Drop-In, photographed in his office near West Hollywood on the 18th. It is certainly not what CEO and founder Louis Ziskin originally intended when he launched Drop-In 3 years ago, an on-demand video streaming platform enabling customers to use a network of smartphones and drones. My plan was to become one of the biggest media companies, says Ziskin. But over the last 2 weeks, the business has flown drones over Malibu, California, following the recent wildfires, sending images of devastated households via satellite to Hiscox and to Beasley, two London-based insurance companies. A couple of months earlier, the business worked with Lyft, the ride-sharing company, to direct drivers to help householders make insurance claims in the U.S. states of North and South Carolina following Hurricane Florence. The initiatives come at a time when Drop-In is also in the midst of Lloyd's Lab, an accelerator run by the 330-year-old insurance market based in London, where its business model and technology is providing customer insight for traditional insurance companies. Origin: Ziskin was born and raised in L.A. by divorced parents, describing himself as a problem child. I was a mentally gifted minor who thought rules did not apply to me, he said. Man, this motherfucker honest to a fault. He definitely mentally gifted, and I didn't know he was mentally gifted as a minor, but he definitely mentally gifted. Just think about this. Who thinks outside the box and cuts out the middleman, goes straight to the connect, and finds a way to trade internationally, trafficking drugs at that scale and that level, making hundreds of millions of dollars, right? Then goes to federal prison on a case that he shouldn't even been on, right? Had the balls and the knowledge enough to go up in there per doing his appeal and all of this other stuff, fighting against the federal government to get off that 30 years and then get out and start Drop-In. Now he's in Forbes magazine. That's definitely out of the ordinary. In fact, I would like to label it extraordinary. He moved from school to school, finally going to and then dropping out of the University of Southern California. He took on several jobs, such as selling condominiums in Florida, always able to generate money, but it was at this time that events in Ziskin's life were to take a turn that would have a huge impact on his life. 1998, Ziskin started importing ecstasy from Europe using mainstream couriers to deliver packages to commercial mailboxes in the Los Angeles area. Federal authorities took Ziskin into custody in 2000, put him on trial, and jailed him for 30 years. On appeal in 2003, the sentence was reduced. The experience has inevitably marked his life. Outside, when he came out of prison in 2011, then on parole in 2013, he kept his head down and built stack homes for his brother. But by 2015, he was ready to start building a business. There are drone pilots all over the world. The pilot can upload immediately after the flight. You get all the data, and the operator has the license and insurance, he concluded. The idea was to develop the drop-in platform as a live stream for drones, operated by an army of amateur operators across the world to provide video coverage of breaking news stories from war zones or natural disasters. Ziskin's record meant that traditional VCs would and could not touch him, but family and friends were ready to forgive the past and step in. One of the investors, for example, was John Donfield, whose father Jeff worked with President Nixon on the war on drugs. Ziskin ended up raising US $5.5 million from these angel investors. So he know how to get to the bag also, right? He know how to start a tech company and then get angel investors to believe in him and his skills to execute whatever marketing plan and product he's presenting to the world. At first it was ecstasy. Now it's these goddamn dropped in drones, right? Henny in the chat. Somebody pull up Henny and beam her up. By May 2015, Ziskin had set up shop in Venice, Los Angeles. The business launched and grew rapidly with over 1,100 drone pilots worldwide, with 50% of them veterans. But the problem came in Ziskin's vision for people to be able to enjoy live streaming through an app encountered the potential cost of such a technology. The aha moment was when we did not have the $20 million to get it on app on all phones, says Ziskin. The insurance market in the U.S. is huge. U.S. $60 billion a year just in claims. A significant business can be built by disrupting only a small percentage of it. So mind you, he just want to allow people, amateurs, to be able to use their drones to film natural disasters and fires and all of this stuff, right? So he don't got $20 million to get it on an app on all phones. So, but fewer than half of insurance companies use technology to address issues around fraud, determine the level of premiums, or for underwriting, according to the most recent Frisk Digital Transformation in Insurance Survey. The pivot, when it came, was to relaunch Drop-In as a remote on-demand inspection platform for insurance companies to inspect damage in real time by insurance claimants, right? So here go Lou, he got the Bam. Ziskin's original idea of marshaling amateur drone operators or droperators would continue, but these would now be directed by insurance companies to help their customers make their claims. I didn't need a market analysis. I just needed to know no one else is doing it, says Ziskin. He knew he would be able to monopolize the market because no one else was doing it. I'm telling you, the kid's a fucking genius. When a customer calls about an insurance claim, they are in the middle of the crisis. They want to make a claim, but they also want to help to stop the leak or to get the power back on. Many of the claimants are also of a demographic with fines using an app on a phone beyond them. Once the droperator arrives at the incident, he or she then starts live streaming using a drone or their mobile phone. Meanwhile, the insurance adjuster back in an office views the video in real time and can ask for specific GPS tag photos and measurements. The droperator can even make suggestions for approved third-party plumbers or electricians. It only takes a small tweak to the customer service process whereby the call center recommends the use of drop-in to report the claim. Drop-in requires a process change for the insurance companies, but the easiest one possible because it is a change in the cost center, says Ziskin. The insurance companies, CFOs love the cheaper payouts. It's an opportunity to improve the bottom line and improve things, but not at a negative cost to others. It is also the ability to generate customers' insight for traditional insurance companies at what is a pretty emotive moment for their customers that has been noticed. Generating insight. The partnership with Lyft comes at a time when a ride-sharing company explores roles for its drivers in a future of driverless cars. Lyft was concerned for their drivers' futures, looking at stuff they might do, says Ziskin. The first step was a pilot with 43 drivers in Miami, who, following a webinar was sent out on the road and then into full operation with 100 drivers in the Carolinas. And when Lloyd's of London's asked its underwriter members to vote on which of the 20 startups should join its initial accelerator program, Drop-In won a slot. Almost 90% of insurance companies are convinced that InsurTech offers great opportunities, and just under 20% are already investing into it. Once more, according to the Fritz Digital Transformation and Insurance Survey. Two of Floyd's members and also traditional insurance companies, Hiscox and Beasley, have already worked with Drop-In on live streaming from wildfires in Malibu, giving back. Meanwhile, Ziskin is still making amends for an earlier stage in his life. He regularly goes into 4 schools in Los Angeles in a shirt and tie, motivating them to build a thriving business through technology and to have admirable livelihoods. The kids say, we can't do that. And I say, listen, I managed to do it, and I've been inside. That's his mentality. That's why he does great things. That's a little bit about my boy Louis Ziskin, a.k.a. the X-King. Let me stop sharing that real quick. Oh, Google Chrome is not at. Why would it do this at this point in the thing? Let me get back to StreamYard. Yael is back. Yeah.
Damu Kiwe Conversations.
So I was able hit that like button, man. Share Mike B. What up? Money Grip RDL salute. What up? So we was able to show y'all a little bit of that. We do got the paperwork. We ain't gonna get in all of that, but I do want to show y'all some videos, right? Yeah, you off work? They let you go, or you still on the plantation, brother?
Yes, boss. I'm still slaving and baby, slaving.
Damn, brother, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Hey, listen, brother. I gotta get it, bro. I got so many things that I'm trying to do right now. This is the only way, man. You told me gram for gram, rock for rock. We ain't gonna stop till we reach the top.
Oh yeah,
that's what we on, nigga.
They said we all horny in the chat. That's they looking for some pills. We done talked about my boy Lou. Now they looking for some X pills, right?
I guess they some internet tweakers.
Internet tweakers.
Internet sexual tweakers. Get up off get your nasty minds out the cyber gutter.
So we gonna get into these 2 videos. Both of them is about 4 minutes long, and then we gonna close out. Make this short. As I said, I ain't ate and I ain't smoked, so I'm just running through this. But I wanted to introduce y'all. Wednesday, Louis Ziskin is in the building. Exclusive interview. Y'all met him here first. Introduced by Damu Kiwe Conversations. So Lou, after doing all of this, gets into this in Thailand, makes the headlines again. Oh, I can't wait for this movie to come. Oh, I got to fix the volume. I thought the volume was on. Hold on. Let me start it back over.
Who knows that system better?
After the pandemic hit, people could not get PPE.
Nobody knew what they were really doing. A lot of people were calling us saying, hey, you were moving stuff around the world when we were trying to stop you. Can you help us out now? Who knows that system better than ex-drug traffickers? There was a real need, and we felt that we could help.
We ended up bringing in over 1 million masks and PPEs the first time.
They were going to go to healthcare workers, frontline workers, rescue workers, all the people that are risking their lives taking care of other people during this pandemic.
They delivered the container to our hangar in Van Nuys, and that's when Louis realized this is completely fraudulent.
I've never seen anything that bad. These are blood-stained gloves with holes in them.
The majority of the PPE business was fraud.
These people are making money hurting Americans.
This cannot be moved into the supply chain. So now we're stuck on a $3 million order for
That was
14
Penguin.
containers, and it's all garbage. We got a serious fucking problem. The gloves were being shipped out of Thailand, so we got to go to Thailand.
Trying to weed through an ocean of bullshit to get to an island of reality is very difficult. It's a culture of fraud over there.
Fake paperwork, fake gloves, fake boxes. The scale of this operation is huge. These guys were Chinese organized crime.
There was military generals involved. There's dirty cops involved. They're being paid off. And we're not in our own playground.
Their factory was basically repacking on a large scale, spraying them, washing them, putting them in boxes and reboxing them, and sending them out in container loads and millions of these gloves. They weren't surgical grade. They weren't medical grade. They were shit. I have personally had experience with terrorism. I was at ground zero in the dirt, digging. I saw how it destroyed people's lives. And make no mistake, what they're doing is terrorism.
This is state-sponsored medical terrorism. And if nobody wants to say it, I will.
This is Thailand. It's very corrupt. Anything can happen, and it all went south.
They threw everything that they could at this guy just to be able to arrest him.
We have arrest warrant right now. We search your room.
So they
They
locked
used the
him up in
media to
Thailand.
influence the justice system in order to shake you down, pay so you can get the fuck out of here.
You don't see the whole story. They're only showing you what they want you to see.
It's a formula. They had it down. And they used it against a lot of people until they ran into us.
They were so sure that we were going to fall apart and pay anything. They never thought anybody would look them in the eye and say, fuck you, let's go to the boss.
You ever ran into a person that did something right away, you know, I shouldn't have fucked with this guy? Well, they ran into a few of us.
I promised the cops, at the end of it, you'll be the one in jail, not me.
CNN got involved, Homeland Security got involved, all because it made enough noise that now they had to get involved.
The people we depended on 20 years ago and depended on us came through for us again.
One of these days, they're going to learn to stop betting against me.
After the pandemic hit, people could not get PPE.
All right, that was one video. And then I gotta fix this. Hold on.
Lady, huh? Ted Van, this dude David Lin, and this guy Vincent Yu Ching Wen. They said that they were the exclusive representative for Patty the Room. This guy, Look Fei Yang Yang. We got this container of bad gloves, and when we mean bad gloves, we're not talking about just used gloves or bricks or a ripoff. We're talking about these people took the time to wash them and dye them blue to try to get them in the medical system. For all you people out there on your high fucking horse saying fuck these convicts, you know who was selling the gloves is a bunch of people with clean fucking records during a pandemic to our first responders. Do these countries not really know that Thailand is just slapping them in the face? They appointed this General Jirapop. They made him the head of the glove investigation. This is General Jirapop busting Patty, Look Fei Yang Yang, Patty the Room. in December of 2020. But then, guess what? He chooses not to charge him with fake gloves. And the whole thing is this guy personally knew he's lying because Sri Trang had already complained to CSD that they were a damaged party by Patty the Room and Collections Enterprise. Then let's fast forward to my arrest. The very next day, while he's out on bail, Luk Fei Yang Yang is allowed to leave Bangkok the day after my arrest, walking right out of Bangkok airport. Now we get to this guy, Sirishai. He's the lawyer for Vincent Wen. Here's where he calls himself Mr. Hitler. He's going to exterminate all the Jews. Here's where he says, you know, the Bangkok police work for him. All kinds of internal information. Siriporn Zhang, his wife, she's the real gangster. Here's a text from Vincent Wen. A few days before my arrest, Vincent texts. He's basically extorting me, telling me he's going to charge me if I don't give him any money. He gives a phone number. This phone number here is Siriporn Zhang. This is Supachai. This is the cop, the head cop from Tonglor that this guy Sirishai paid along with Emily and Luk Fei Yang Yang and Vincent's money. This motherfucker cop and this fucking lawyer, they seized a fucking boat in Pattaya outside their jurisdiction and tried to put it in the wife's name. And then Pakapong, this is the Metropolitan Police Superintendent. He's involved. Here he is lying. He says at first press conference, we took a long time on the arrest from the incident to make sure that we collected all the evidence and knew exactly what we were doing. They've never produced any evidence. And their one guy who made up this whole fake story is a fugitive now from Thailand because there's a warrant out for him. The Thai people are the nicest people, bro. They are so oppressed over there. They have to live with this every day in every facet. I just want to say thank you to them for their outpouring of support. Like, they've just been through the whole thing. They're just lovely, lovely people. Unfortunately, the same thing can't be said for some of the people in power there.
So that second story right there is about Thailand shipping PPP protective wear during the crisis because it was a shortage on gloves. During the crisis, reusing gloves, throwing them in a washer and dryer with blood on whatever shit. It could be anything on there, right? And sending them and shipping them to our doctors and first responders in the United States, right? So they go out there to try to get the plug when they realize what was going on. They start ruckus. They want their money back. They basically trying to extort them, tell them we're going to take you to jail, and it starts the whole ball to rumble to expose what they was doing during COVID. Thailand government and the police were running this whole scam, sending our first responders this already used dysfunctional PPE, and they're treating us, your family, my family, nasty work. But look, Wednesday tap in. Y'all hear from the man himself. We're going to go through a whole lot more than this. No paperwork. The gangster shit, nigga. So tune in, tap in. Yael, let them know where we at, bro.
Man, y'all in one of the hottest lives on YouTube and one of the dopest rooms on Clubhouse. Listen, if y'all tuned in right now, tell a friend, like, comment, subscribe, share this shit. Wednesday, we got the real deal coming in with the pill. He's already been exonerated. We've seen the paperwork, his PSI numbers. Due Simpson gave y'all this high elaborate conversation with the Kiwe pop star in himself. Listen, man, one of the dopest rooms on Clubhouse, one of the hottest lives on YouTube. We are the voice of the culture. Y'all tuned in with some real ones, man. The chat is where it's at. Salute. Damu Kiwe Conversations.
And on the way out, in the words of my man G Mac, we don't make enemies, we make money. Damu Kiwe Conversations.